the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
From this moment on, America's decline is over. The golden age of America begins right now. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
So Jai Hind everyone. I, Aditya Verma, welcome you all back again to SSB Geopolitical series of our channel Defense Mavericks. Donald J. Trump has sworn in as the President of the United States of America, and therefore nothing could be a better time to watch the India-USA relations of our geopolitical series. Okay, as always, we are going to see the video in two parts. Okay, the first part we will see the current news. Okay, when Donald Trump has sworn in as the president and what are the new steps he has taken and what all other executive orders and effect going to be there on India. And the second thing that we'll be watching will be the history of our relations. Before we go, I would like to share you a clip, okay, where I have taken out few clips from the speech of Donald Trump's speech, from his inaugural speech. So listen to it very carefully, and after that we are going to analyze it.
We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad. It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Today I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. It's all about common sense. First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. The inflation crisis was caused by massive overspending and escalating energy prices, and that is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill. And we have something that no other manufacturing nation will ever have, the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we are going to use it. With my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate. I will immediately begin the overhaul of our trade system to protect American workers and families. Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. It will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. From now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
All right. So in the video, we saw a lot of things. And here is one of those summaries of the things that Donald Trump said. Let's analyze them one by one. Trump has called to end the birthright citizenship that was there. Okay. in USA. What is birthright citizenship? Birthright citizenship says that anyone, any child who is born in USA, despite the parents' citizenship, that even if the parents are foreigners, the child was, had the child used to have a eligibility to be a USA citizen. All right, but now that is going to end. Okay, now it is going to become something like India. Like in India, also, if there is a child born, but his none of the parents are Indian, that child cannot be a citizen. Minimum one parent needs to be Indian. So something like that could be there. Now, obviously, that is going to hit the Indians in US because there are a lot of children who were born in USA, but their parents were not citizens. So the children got the citizenship, whereas the parents don't have. So that could cause an issue. After that, Trump is very aggressive when it comes to the immigration. Okay, as he declared emergency at its the southern border, at the Mexico border, and he has said that he is going to deport back all the illegal immigrants who has come to his country. Now, why is Trump doing that? Trump is basically doing that because he's saying that America is getting filled with non-Americans, and these non-Americans who are coming to India are basically stealing all the jobs in America, and hence the actual American citizens are facing issues due to it. Trump has won this election because he was facing on the issues that the American people were actually facing, right? Rather than focusing on the liberals approach or the Democrats approach, where they were just saying that we are good and Trump is bad. Trump is like, let them say what they want. I am going to focus on the actual problems, on the on ground problems, and that are there, and that's why he won. Many of them are contentious, obviously. Okay, then tariff ban. Okay, Trump said that he is going to impose taxes on the other countries. Okay, other countries products, basically the imports that are coming to USA, he is going to tax them more. Why? So that other countries have to pay more to the USA. Now obviously this is going to hit the exports of India. Okay, because India's largest exporting destination is USA only, so Indian export is going to come down due to this. Right, Indian export market is going to come down due to this, and obviously if the export market is coming down, ultimately it will lead to the shortage of demand, and the shortage of demand will lead to what? The shortage of demand will lead to employment crisis, where employment will come down, and as a result the GDP will come down. Okay, this is a chain effect that we have seen in economics, right? So Trump is going to impose a lot of tariffs. Then Trump's order a US exit from the world's main climate pact. Very, very important. Your Paris Agreement. What was the Paris Agreement? It was about reducing the global greenhouse or the global carbon emissions. Okay, USA is the second largest producer of the carbon or the greenhouse gases. Okay, what was the Paris Agreement about? The Paris Agreement says that the current issue of global warming that we are facing, that is due to the rapid industrialization that the world has gone through. But have all the countries gone through that? Absolutely no. The main culprits are the industrialized nations, the developed nations like Europe, USA, China. Okay, these are major contributors. But at this time, who is suffering the most? The most suffering is done by the underdeveloped countries, जिनका उतना role भी नहीं था, but still they are suffering. And now Paris Agreement said that we must move towards green energy, okay, cleaner energy sources. But because conventionally we had been using, fossil fuels, etc., to power the things, the transitioning to green energy was very costly, and therefore Trump said what? Trump used a statement which is going very viral, that is drill baby drill. And what is that? He said that let the green energy be there, whatever they want to do. I have the oil and I will use it, because transitioning to green energy is causing problem to my citizens. What problem? He's saying that because of this, the prices or the inflation is there in the market, due to which my citizens are not able to lead a good life, where our economy is going down. Okay, because we are trying to transition to green energy. and therefore leave that, we will use the fuels. So obviously Trump is focusing more on his 4 years tenure than focusing on the long term objectives. And pulling US is pulling out is a very big thing. Okay, because its target was 2030, right? And obviously he may also not agree to fund the underdeveloping countries, right? So this is one of the big blows that is coming from. And then obviously US has also exit from the World Health Organization. Now the majority of the funding of World Health Organization, I mean a major chunk of the funding was also coming from USA, right? Due to which a lot of problems could be there. For example, WHO's funding is affected, and therefore WHO's research and development on vaccines, its cooperations on combating different diseases, they are going to be hit, right? Around 20%, see, fifth of the budget disappear. That means around 20% of the budget was given by USA, right? Then Trump said that he wants to be a peacemaker, and just before Trump took a basically oath. Before that, only Israel and Hamas signed their ceasefire agreement. So that had a worldwide effect. Trump coming into power, because USA is the most powerful country, right? Then after that, he took some decisions on geographical things as well. That he said that he is going to change the name of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of USA. After that, he said that this Panama, okay, we have something called as Panama Canal here, which connects the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. So now this Panama area has been controlled by China. So he said that he is going to take it back, right? So Trump is coming with a very aggressive policy, and this is what the new things are that we can expect in his tenure. Obviously India is going to face issues, because immigration policies के कारण क्या होगा, that Indians going to America, that will become difficult. As a result, what will happen, the Indians, especially the engineers and doctors, they have to stay back in India, right? Due to which some of the best doctors and engineers who used to go to USA, they are now staying in India. So that is going to create a job crisis here in India as well. Okay, already major companies were laying off, and engineers were finding it hard to find a job. It is going to be even harder as of now. Okay, so these are going to be the impacts that we can see of Trump's coming to power, right? So now let's look at the history of how the India USA relationship has been shaped. Okay, so after India got independent, okay, the World War II got over. And after World War II got over, basically UK's power got over, and two powers basically emerged, which were the USA and the USSR. Okay, USA follows the capitalist approach. Okay, while USSR followed the socialist approach. Okay, and obviously, what is capitalist approach? I don't care. I only care about my profit, which is what Trump is actually showing. He is a pure capitalist. Okay. So now when it came to India, that which side India is going to choose? Is it going to choose USSR side, or is it going to choose come in the USA's camp? India decided to be non-aligned, and it started something called as the non-aligned movement. Now, since India was a very big country that got independent, so a lot of smaller countries also watching India and thinking of India as a leader of the developed and the underdeveloped, they also joined this non-aligned movement. Now, USA did not like this, because following India, a lot of countries did not join the USA camp, and therefore USA always see India as somewhat notorious, or something that they don't like, or the country that they don't like. Okay, and India had a little bit tiltation towards USSR. India had socialistic policies. Why? Because India was following a closed economy. Okay, India was having government control on production and distribution. Right, so it was following a little bit model of USSR, because what India just got independence from, it was a very Western concept, right? So India wanted to be away from it. Okay, UK, USA, they were almost of the same camp, but India did not join. Okay, and this war between the two was called as the Cold War. Okay, Cold War was not an actual war, but it was actually basically a war of ideologies. That which kind of governance is better for the world? Is it capitalist or is it socialist? Right. So this is how the history began, and obviously we know that India was someone who didn't came to the camp of USA. So why did USA want it here? Now, but USA wanted a power hold in the Asian region. Why? Because USA didn't want that USSR expands. Okay, USSR already had its influence on China and North Korea a lot. Okay, and USA didn't want that it came here, especially in Afghanistan region. So what USA did was that USA first tried with India, but it did not work. So it made a pact with Pakistan. Okay, USA made with a pact with Pakistan. Why? To stop the Soviets from coming into Afghanistan. Right. What did USA do? USA basically asked Pakistan to train its mujahids. Okay, that are there in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and make them fight the USSR army who was trying to come and invade Afghanistan. Okay, this is what USA did in USA, in Pakistan and Afghanistan. Basically, USA was the one who created these mujahids, who later on created groups like the ISIS, like the Al Qaeda. Okay, right. These only became the terrorist that USA calls it. Right. Then what happened? Due to this, the USSR fell. Finally, in the year 1991, the Cold War ended with the fall of USSR, and the USSR got divided into several countries, Russia being the biggest part of it. Now, this was a very big blow to India. Like a lot of articles were published that India has been orphaned, okay, because of the fall of USSR. Now, after this, what happened? After this, some things, other things also happened. Like पाकिस्तान के साथ जो यूएसए का पैक्ट था. Now USA said that we no longer need you. Okay, why we no longer need you? Because our game in Afghanistan is over. All right. So Pakistan said that okay, we are sending you two small gifts. All right. Now this soured the relation with Pakistan and of USA. All these things. So now USA had this void again in Asia. And with the fall of USSR, China rose to power. Okay. China started becoming a new threat to USA, and USA started to recognize this. That okay, this is something that we need to consider. And then the only thing that USA could have done was to turn its eyes towards India. Right. Although in the previous things like the 1971 war and the other things as well, USA has supported Pakistan, and actually USSR was the one which came to the help of India. All right. Even when India conducted the nuclear tests, so Operation Smiling Buddha, USA, filed a lot of sanctions over India, economic sanctions, so that it cannot grow. But despite this, now USA wanted to be an ally of India. Why? Because USA wanted to have India as a strategic partner in order to counter China. All right. So, and some other things also happened. Like, first of all, after the fall of the USSR, in 1992, India introduced the LPG reforms, and basically India opened its economy. Okay. So when India opens its economy, India became a huge market for USA. So there was a great trading option with India, and USA didn't want to let it go. So after that, the economic ties increased with India. Then obviously, as I said, that to counter China, USA formed a member or formed a group called as the Quad, in which the members were obviously USA, India, Australia, and Japan, to control China in the South China Sea region. All right. After that, USA also had the nuclear deals earlier, that the sanctions that it had put on India, it also came up with something called as the civil nuclear agreement during the George Bush time, where the nuclear isolation that was done of India, that was removed. Okay, nuclear isolation was removed, and India was allowed to use from USA side the nuclear power for civilian purposes and for energy purposes. Then obviously after the post 9/11 attacks, okay, USA took the help of India for the anti-terrorism. Although what I feel, and not I feel, but factually the biggest terrorist state is actually USA only. Okay, who has done the most mischiefs all around the world. Okay, I always say that wherever there is a conflict in the world, there could be only two countries. Either it is USA or it is UK. England or USA. Only these two countries are there. They have a hand. Then there were also corporations in the MPCR and the Wassenaar Agreement in Defense. What is MPCR? MPCR is basically Missile Technology Control Regime. Okay. So basically, it used to put some limitations on the missiles like BrahMos, Agni, on their speed, on their range. But with USA giving clearance to India, what happened here was that, India could increase the capability of their missiles, etc. Then Wassenaar Agreement is about the uses of chemical weapons. So India did not had the access to it, and India was trying to. So Wassenaar Agreement helped India in doing it. So USA helped India to came to it. Then the nuclear supply group. Okay, then the nuclear supply group of 1972, which was formed. India wasn't a part of it. Okay, as it was attack on India's sovereignty. But after that, in 2008, USA started promoting India to the non-proliferation treaty also. Okay, India didn't agree to be this part, but again, India asked for its exemption, and USA this. Then USA is also a part of India's One Sun, One World, One Grid program. Okay, the Solar International Solar Alliance. Although now I think it will pull itself out of it because USA is not, very much in support of green energy, right? So these were the things in which USA seeks to take help of India. But before this, we also saw some other things in the Biden administration. And what was that? It was given India took its stand on the Russia issue. So USA didn't like it at all. Okay. And that's why USA opened the Bangladesh front to India. Because USA wanted to have some, stronghold in the Asian region. And if you have seen the Manipur video, I've explained it in a lot of detail that how this thing has happened and what games USA have played in the Asian region. Right. So these were the, history in brief or understanding in brief. So what could be the way ahead for India in this situation? The way ahead as I see it, and the most important one which many people actually don't realize, that we have a very strong, okay, Indian diaspora. Okay, we have a very strong Indian diaspora in the USA. Okay, be it the CEOs of top companies like Microsoft and Google, like Satya Nadella and Sundar Pichai, and very important people like Vivek Ramaswamy, Tulsi Gabbard, and Kash Patel in Donald Trump's cabinet. India could use this as a very much stronghold. Just like the Jews used their power during the Industrial Revolution, India's could use their Indian diaspora. And actually, Narendra Modi has started something called as the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Okay, in his tenure, Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Who are Pravasi Bharatiya? The Indians who live abroad. Okay, because Indians hold so much of important positions, not only in other things, even in NASA. Okay, and your medical sciences, hospitals. A lot of Indians are there. Indians are basically, a lot of Indians are running USA. So we can use this as a leverage to influence the policies in our favor, and we must do it. Then, as we know that in geopolitics, there are no enemies and no friends. Okay, and better not to be a friend of USA, because USA is someone who will just work according to its own interest. And that is what India should also do. India has to firmly stand on its ground. Okay, and see its own interest like it did in the Russia Ukraine war. All right. India must know that USA needs India as a strategic partner to counter China, and India should take advantage of that. Also, India should take the advantage and strategic advantage and make sure that India remains strategically important to USA so that USA stops the Pakistan and Bangladesh funding to destabilize India and hopefully get Pakistan again back in the FATF grey list, right? And to stop this Bangladesh front on the Bangladesh, the problem that has been created, right? On top of that, India should also aim for its inclusion in the Permanent Five or the Security Council, because now the Permanent Five won't be there if India is included. To the UNSC Security Council, India should have a say and a permanent seat in the UNSC Security Council with the help of USA. These are the things that India should look ahead to. And obviously, the changes that are going to come in the trade, the changes that are going to come in the immigration, that is something that India needs to counter. India needs to create much more opportunities for the Indians, better development, research and development opportunities, better job opportunities here in India. India needs to produce more. India needs to find more markets apart from USA, because a lot of tariffs are going to be there on Indian citizens, right? And India needs to be again of strategic importance to USA. That is the only way ahead for India USA relations. All right, friends, that's it from my side. Thank you very much and Jai Hind.